Hey, I'm Darren from We Are Messengers. This is Heidi, my wife. I found myself as a young teenager, older teenager, feeling very melancholic, very sad, lonely and isolated. And so when I met Heidi, I was 19 and she was 17. I moved to America in 2003. So I came here to play music and to try and be famous.
So I grew up in Scotland and I had a difficult upbringing with a lot of sadness in the home.
Heidi hasn't had an easy life and she's had a lot of pain. And at that stage of my life, I didn't know how to deal with that. So I was cowardly and ran away. But me running away to America allowed God to rescue Heidi.
But in the midst of that sadness and depression, a girl I was working with, she invited me. Actually, she started talking to me about church. And I remember thinking these people had something that I really wanted. They had something different. And I just felt like I really wanted their contentment. But I started going to church. And it was on Easter Sunday 2006. I understood my sin and my need for a saviour. And I gave my life to Christ and went home and so excited, phoned Darren in America to tell him I'd become a Christian.
I was angry because she was happy. And I couldn't tolerate that because I was miserable. And she was the only one that could share that with me. And so they prayed and they believed that before we got married I would come to Christ. But a few weeks before we got married, I was in a little church in Monaghan, my hometown in Ireland, and the pastor talked about sin and he talked about the cross. And I felt so dirty in my skin. I felt like God was so far away from me. And I understood that the only way to get to Him was through Jesus. And I gave it to Him. I gave Him my life. And I'm still trying to give Him my life. Feel every day. But when we look at our lives now, we have 3 beautiful kids. We have a challenging life. It's not perfect. It's difficult, but we're following Him. We've got hope and peace. Something to live for. Something worth living for. Something worth dying for. And He's with us. And our wee family, we're on mission. And we're going hard for the kingdom of God.